What is it that millionaires don't want you to know? What is it that the rich are doing that the poor aren't? That's what we're talking about in today's video. I'm going to share 7 different things that millionaires are doing that if you start doing now, that can put you on the path to becoming a millionaire or becoming rich or wealthy or financially free, whatever term you want to use. I am Tiffany Thomas with wealthytiffany.com, and I achieved financial freedom at age 38 and became a millionaire at age 40. And if you want to become financially free at a young age or become a millionaire at a young age, hit that like button and hit the subscribe button, and we're going to dive right in. These are 7 things that I have done personally that helped me to become a millionaire. And I want to share them with you today to help you become a millionaire or even a multi-millionaire, because some people think that becoming a millionaire isn't such a big deal anymore. The first thing that rich people do, or that millionaires do, is actually educate themselves about building wealth. So while their friends are watching The Bachelor together, they're at home reading self-improvement books, or they're meeting with mentors and asking them how they were able to become so successful. I know I have done this a lot in my life. I love reading self-improvement books and books about money or becoming financially free or investing or real estate. And there's one specific example that I want to share, and it's kind of silly, but it was one New Year's Eve, and I had a couple different groups of friends that were going to different parties, and I just didn't feel like going to a party. I don't know, I feel like sometimes New Year's Eve is overhyped. It's just, I don't know, there's too much hype around it and too much pressure or whatever, and I just thought, I don't want to go to another party. So I decided to skip the parties and stay at home, and I binge watched a whole bunch of my favorite mentors. I just consumed their content online about investing and money mindset and different things like that, and I had a great New Year's Eve. I really enjoyed that New Year's Eve, even though I was by myself at home and not out partying with my friends. And that's not to say you can't ever go out on holidays and hang out with your friends and do fun stuff. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying make it a priority to educate yourself on things that are important to you and that are going to help you build your wealth, help you to become a millionaire or become financially free. There is plenty of content out there that is free, like all of these YouTube videos that I'm doing and a whole bunch of other finance YouTubers. And there's free courses out there, and there's even some paid courses that are really good. So just find some really good educational content and start to learn more about managing your money better, about investing, saving, whatever it is you need to work on right now. Really focus in on that area of money and become better at it. This is one of the most important things that we can do, because money is always going to be a part of our lives. It's not going away anytime soon, and the better we are at managing it and investing it, then the better our lives are going to be. And I'm not saying life is all about money, but it is a huge part of everyone's lives. So if we can really get a good hold on how to manage our money and how to invest it, we're going to be a lot happier, because we are not going to be stressed about, oh, where's my next paycheck coming from? Or, I have so much debt hanging over my head, I'm never going to pay it off. Things like that, those type of stresses around money won't be applicable to us if we are educating ourselves and really learning how to manage our money better. Plus, when you are knowledgeable about money, you start to think about things differently. You're no longer saying to yourself, oh, I could never buy a rental property, that would be too stressful. What if my renters never paid rent? If you've done education about rental property investing, then you'll start to think, you know what, I can do this. It is possible, and I will buy a rental. And I'm going to mitigate the risks involved because I have this knowledge about how to invest in real estate. And I'm not worried about if my tenants are going to pay rent or not, because I've done my homework. I know how much I need to make each month in order to be okay with my properties, and I'm not over leveraged, and I'm vetting my tenants really well. So I'm decreasing that risk involved with investing in real estate because I've done my homework, I've educated myself. Or if you want to invest in the stock market, you're not saying, what if the stock market crashes and I lose all my money? No, you've done your homework and you know that over the long term, the stock market continues to rise over time. So you are choosing the best investments for you that's going to give you the highest return with the least amount of risk as possible. You're the one that will care the most about your money. So the more you educate yourself about money, then you'll be able to manage it better yourself. And you won't have to worry about having someone else take care of your money for you all of the time. Okay, the second thing that I want to talk about is once you have educated yourself about investing and managing your money better, then you take the action. You don't just continue to consume a lot of content and learn a lot about investing and about finances. You take the action. And since you have learned all of these things about managing your money and investing, you are taking action to invest in assets and not liabilities. Assets are things that you own that actually make you money, that bring cash flow into your bank account. And liabilities are things that you are paying on, so they take money out of your account. And I feel like this happens a lot. There are a lot of people that think, oh, I just want to buy a really nice car. And so they save up all of this money and they end up purchasing this car. And once they drive it off the lot, it loses its value immediately. Rather than thinking, okay, if I want to buy this really nice car, then what can I invest in to make me the money to purchase that car? See how that mindset shift happens? When you start thinking about, okay, what assets can I invest in that are going to make me money? Then I can purchase the liabilities if I want to. Or of course, you can always purchase more assets, things that are going to make you money. But if there is something that you really, really want, like a brand new car, then instead of just taking money out of your savings account and putting it toward that car that's going to lose you money, you can take that money out of your savings and put it toward a down payment on a property. And then when you start collecting cash flow each month from that rental property, you can put that money toward your car. So millionaires take action to research assets that they can buy that are going to make them more money. And that's how they build their wealth over time, buying those assets versus buying those liabilities. Rather than spending hours and hours researching what camera to buy, they spend hours of time researching what stock to invest in or what property to invest in. And the third thing that I want to talk about is that millionaires stop trading time for dollars. One thing we all have in common is we each get 24 hours in the day, and how we spend that time is going to vary a lot with each person. But the wealthy or rich or the millionaires or those that are financially free, they are not focusing on trading their time for dollars. And yes, they may still do that, have a 9-to-5 job, but they don't need the money they're getting from that job. They enjoy going to the job, so they continue to work their 9-to-5 job. And a lot of us will probably start with a 9-to-5 job. That's how I started. I took the money I was receiving from my paycheck from my 9-to-5 job and started investing that money in real estate or in the stock market to eventually help me become financially free and become a millionaire. So take some money from that 9-to-5 job and start putting it in investments, in things that are going to make your money work for you. And you don't have to do that all at once. You can take just a small amount from every paycheck and start to invest that money, and it will start to grow over time. And the fourth thing that millionaires don't want you to know is they try to pay as little as possible in taxes. Paychecks are taxed at the highest amount, which is why millionaires have investments, because that puts them in a lower tax bracket. And sometimes they pay $0 on their investments, depending on what type of investment it is. And that's also why they have their own business, because they can write a lot of things off. And same with investing in real estate. There are some tax write-offs you can have by investing in real estate as well. So they try to stay away from that typical paycheck from the 9-to-5 job and focus on those assets that they can pay less money in taxes. And I have definitely done this by not having a 9-to-5 job and starting my own business, because there are things that I can write off by having my own business. The fifth thing that wealthy people do, or that millionaires do, is they utilize leverage. And the definition of leverage is using borrowed capital for an investment, expecting the profits made to be greater than the interest payable. For example, I have done this with my real estate properties. I had a down payment for each property, and then I took out a mortgage loan for each property. And so I was leveraging that debt to create cash flow from those that were renting my properties. And then I'm paying that money back over time. But I wouldn't have been able to start as early as I did if I had to come up with the full amount for the property. And I did a video about how I was able to purchase my 4 properties, so if you're interested in that, I will leave a link above and below in the description, and you can check that out after this video. Millionaires use debt in their favor to make them richer, not poorer. So they aren't taking out car loans, they're taking out mortgages which are making them money, or they're investing in businesses that are going to make them money. And the 6th item that millionaires don't want you to know is that they have a wealth mindset and not a scarcity mindset. This means the wealthy people are not so worried about running out of money or where their next paycheck is going to come from. They are more about, okay, how can I build my wealth? What's my next investment going to be? And I know that everyone can be wealthy. There's no scarcity mindset. If I become wealthy, someone else can't become wealthy. That's not a thing. They are more about, if I can become wealthy, so can someone else, or vice versa. If you see someone else becoming wealthy, then you know you can become wealthy. When the stock market takes a dip, they aren't selling all of their investments like everyone else is. They're actually investing more money because they know that will build their wealth. They know the stock market will go up over time. So while everyone else is living in fear or that scarcity mindset, they're thinking, okay, how can I take advantage of this? How is this opportunity going to work for me? And then they take the risk that is necessary. And it's usually a calculated risk. It's not just on a whim. They've usually done their homework beforehand, so they're ready to take advantage of these opportunities that come up. And the reason they're ready is because they have that wealth mindset. They're thinking, oh, I know something's going to happen that will build my wealth, and I want to be ready to take advantage of that. They're not thinking, oh, I'll never get out of debt. I'll never be able to build my wealth and become financially free or become a millionaire. No, it's completely the opposite. They know they will become a millionaire. They know they will become financially free because they realize they are responsible for their own fate. No one else is. If they continue to tell themselves they will fail and never make it to millionaire status, then that's exactly what's going to happen. But if they say the opposite, then that's exactly what's going to happen. They will become a millionaire. I know for me, this has made a huge difference, having that wealth mindset or a positive mindset, because I'm able to see the positive in pretty much any situation, which means that things started to come my way that helped me become a millionaire and become financially free. I was expecting that, and I was ready for that. I was ready to take advantage of any opportunity that was to come my way. And the last item number 7, that millionaires don't want you to know, is that they sacrifice the present for the future. They take a long-term mindset. And I know this has made a big difference in my life. If I just kept thinking day to day and didn't really set goals and plan for the future, there's no way I would have 4 properties right now. There's no way I would be financially free nor a millionaire. But since I was able to make sacrifices along the way, I was able to accomplish those things. And that's not to say I lived a miserable life. I traveled all of the time. I would take at least one big international trip a year, and I would take small trips throughout the year. And I went out with friends and did fun things. But I didn't let things get out of control. I didn't want to be in credit card debt, so I never paid credit card interest. I made sure that the things I was doing, I had money to pay for those. And sure, I didn't go on every single trip that I was invited on, but it's not really about depriving yourself. It's more about your priorities. For me, I wanted to become financially free at a young age, so I can take more trips now, instead of being in a ton of debt in my 20s and 30s and having to pay that off and then retiring at 65. So really think about your long-term goals. Where do you see your life in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? What type of lifestyle do you want to be living? And what are you doing now to help you get there? And also having that long-term mindset means that you're not so worried about your investments right now. If the stock market does take a dip, like it did earlier this year, a huge dip, you're not pulling out all of your investments and becoming so worried and fearful. You are more focused on that long term, knowing that, okay, if I leave my investments in there, I know they will continue to rise. I've chosen good index funds or good stocks to invest in, and they are still good companies. So I'm going to leave my investments in there and continue to invest over time. And just to give an example, I have friends that are in the same spot they were, I don't know, 10, 20 years ago even, because they weren't really focused on the long term, on their future. And now they're thinking, oh man, like I didn't invest anything. I don't have any sort of retirement and I'm already in my 40s. What am I gonna do? And to that, I would say it's never too late to start investing. Yes, investing a long time ago would have made a huge difference. But when you look back 10 years from now, you're going to be so happy you started investing now rather than waiting another 10 years. So if you do want to become a millionaire by a certain age or become financially free or become wealthy, then start making some sacrifices right now so that you are in a better position in the future. And it's not just about becoming a millionaire or becoming wealthy. Once you have that, you're able to give more to others, and you yourself are in a better financial position, so you don't have to be worried about having someone else take care of you. You'll actually be able to help others. And I think that's what it's really about. Being more gracious, being more grateful, living a better life, and helping others live a better life. All right, so out of all of these 7 things, tell me in the comments below which one is your favorite or which one had the most impact on you. And if you did find this video helpful, please hit that like button and share it with someone else who would like to hear this information. And please hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the little bell to get notified on when I post new videos. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.